Hey everyone, today I want to show you a really common production issue that many engineering teams mostly run into, a noisy neighbor problem. Imagine your checkout service like suddenly starts throwing up 5 errors, and most of the times you will start investigating checkout because that is where the alert fired actually, right? But in this case, checkout is not actually a problem. Another service is sharing the same DB and ends up stealing checkout of database connection. Let's see how DrDroid figures that out actually. So here we are on a alert page. In the DrDroid dashboard, we have critical alerts coming up for checkout API reporting a 5 error actually, as you can see here. Normally, this is where engineer would start jumping up between the like graph and a dashboard that may be log, that may be traces, deployment history, and maybe even Slack conversation to attest everything together, right? So instead of doing this all the thing, I will just ask DrDroid agent to investigate. So as the investigation start, you will notice that we are seeing this investigation in a compact mode, right? Compact mode gives me the agent reasoning in a concise format. Like instead of showing every individual tool call, it summarizes the important investigation steps and keep the output easy to follow. If I switch to non-compact mode, it will give me the more context about the investigation, like the exact tool calls, exact tool the agent called actually, every intermediate conversation happening behind the scene, the evidence is collected, and service is connected, and how it actually arrive at the each conclusion. So these kind of things happen in the non-compact mode. The first thing doctor does actually notice, the checkout isn't the actually thing which is crashing. Instead, it is repeatedly timing out while trying to acquire DB connection. And that's an important clue because it tells us the application itself is not failing, it is waiting on an external dependency, right? The next logical question arrives, why is the database overloaded, right? So rather than stopping at a symptom, DrDroid start reasoning across the graphs actually. Since the platform already knows the relationship between service and infrastructure, it identifies every service that is connected to this shared database actually. So after that, it will check each one of the service, like it will check if the checkout traffic looks normal or not, payment service is healthy or not, and after doing all this thing, it found something interesting, which is the actual root cause. After going all through the service and the infrastructure, it found out something interesting. It says the checkout API is experiencing a rate at 37.8, and because it has a huge, it experiences huge spike in the throughput. So what's important here is the order analytic isn't throwing any alerts. If you were only looking at an incident dashboard, you would probably never investigate this kind of thing, right? So this is where the investigation actually become very valuable, because instead of giving us a bunch of disconnected observation, DrDroid connect the dot, like the batch job start, database connections shoot up, checkout can no longer get the connections, then the spike increases, then then eventually customer starts seeing the 5 errors. So that's basically entire chain of events laid out automatically. And after that it also gives the fix for it, recommended fix. For example, you can implement the connection pool, you can add the monitoring alert for DB connection, and also you can reduce that daily order recon crunch of concurrency from 32 to 4 normal. So what I like about this example, that the alert service wasn't actually the broken service. The real problem lives somewhere completely different in the system, and that the exactly kind of investigation that is hard to do manually, because it requires jumping from between the dashboard logs and your infra tooling actually. So DrDroid does reasoning automatically. It follows the evidence across your environment and it gets you to the actual root cause much faster. So instead of asking like what is broken, it answers the harder question. Why did this actually break? So that's for this demo. See you soon.